Welcome everybody to today's Commodities Outlook presented by myself, Phil Carr, at the Gold and Silver Club. So today we will be looking at where the markets are heading next. So I'll talk you through this in a lot of detail. During today's session, we will be covering a month ahead outlook for the metals. We'll cover live market commentary and technical analysis. We'll also go over some trading ideas for the month ahead, key fundamental catalysts to watch, and of course we'll be going over your questions during the session too. So as always, we'll keep it nice and interactive. If there are any questions or comments during the course of the session, do post those into the chat and we'll make sure we go through those, particularly as we go through each of the commodities. So first of all, let me introduce you to the Gold and Silver Club. The Gold and Silver Club is the world's #1 commodities trading and investment coaching company. We are regarded as the go-to authority on commodities trading and as internationally respected experts. Our analysis and opinions on the metals, the energies, and the agricultural markets, they're routinely sought by major financial television channels and publications, which include Bloomberg, Reuters, CNBC, Global Banking Finance Review, and the Wall Street Journal, to name a few. Our team of experts has trained and mentored over 100,000 private traders from all over the world to increase their wealth, generate substantial monthly income through commodities using our signature trading strategies. Okay, so that's a bit of an intro about us. Now we'll look at the gold price right now. We're currently trading at $1,245 per ounce. It is actually a perfect time to join us on today's session. You may or may not know that gold has now broken out to 12-month highs. It's up 16% so far, the best performing commodity so far of 2016. So we've got plenty to cover with you on today's session. So first of all, let me go through some of the top trades of the month using the Gold and Silver Club signature trading strategy. So I'll go through with you the top trades that we've personally had over the month, and we'll start off here with gold. So gold, we actually identified a very common trade that we've seen in previous years over the month of January. And we entered into this trade. We had our buy signal to get into this, which we provided for all of our traders to get in at $1,077 per ounce with a stop loss you can see just there at 1,046, and this was a trade that we took all the way going back to the beginning of January there, the 4th of January. We've continued to track this at every stage of the trade. We've now been in this trade just over 5.5 weeks. We've had a hefty breakout to the upside today, and I'm pleased to show you the trade currently as of roughly about an hour and a half ago was sitting at 1,830 points in profit, so at $1,260 per ounce. Now this is in fact a trade that we've been tracking every single step of the way here as we've continued to be in this position. So I'm not just showing you a trade here in retrospect. I can actually show you where we've been in this trade and where we've been monitoring it and where we've been providing updates to all of our traders every single step of the way. So you'll see this trade where we got triggered into the trade on the 4th of January 2016. And this is our initial entry, 1,077. This is our open. This is where a week later we've had a significant breakout to the upside. You can see where we popped right up. That is initially going up towards a 1-to-1 level. We've stayed in the trade, continued to utilize our stop loss as we've continued to break out. You can see here by the beginning of February we were up over 670 points by that time, utilizing a trailing stop loss to take advantage of more upside. Gold here has continued to rocket, so we were up over 780 points just last week, and this week it's really started to come into its own here. So you can see up over 970 points at the beginning of the week, and then finally here you can see today we are so far up on this trade. In the early part of today we're up over 1,280 points. We're now up over 1,420 as of that was about midday earlier on today, and currently we've continued to break out up over 1,830 points. So it's been a tremendous breakout to the upside, which a lot of our trades have benefited as well. This trade setup and the overall move that we've had here, all of our traders have been notified every single step of the way for this 1,830 point move. So I hope some of you caught this move, and I think it's important now also to mention the long-term trades, the really importance of having long-term trades in your portfolio. They tend to be lower risk, lower stress as well, and very profitable compared to day trading. This style of trading takes really very little time. The sort of trade management that we're doing on these longer term positions is really perfect for the current market conditions where you've got much longer uptrends and downtrends at the moment. I'll show you another trade that we were in on oil for a significant amount of time over November, December, and into January. But we've certainly applied our longer-term strategies here for gold in order to really profit from this huge breakout to the upside. We remain in this trade at the moment. We've got our stop loss still continued to trail this, but it's I just want to really point out, very lucrative way for you to generate returns in these markets. They're not really favoring the scalper or the short-term day trader, these sort of markets. They're really favoring the longer-term trades where you can really capitalize on some of these much larger moves. So the 700-point breakout that we've seen to the upside on gold today, we've benefited from that. If you're new to trading, and that doesn't really mean a lot to you in terms of the points there, the point system with trading, essentially, if you consider if you are at just $1 per point on the trade, you would have made over 1,830 US dollars on that position. If you are in at $10 per point on the trade, you've made over $18,300 profit. And of course, if you're in $20 per point, that's over $36,600 profit that you've made over 5 weeks, just depending on the size of your portfolio. But that's been a fantastic trade. I want to just show you as well the overall gold trend cycles that we've had over the last 5, 15 and 30-year charts, and you'll see this. We mentioned this going back to the last session that we did in December, the overall impact that you tend to get over the month of January as you see a lot of fresh funds come into the market. We've seen a very similar occurrence happen over certainly the last, if you go back to 2000, beginning of 2015, beginning of 2014, and beginning of this year, we've had this same move at the beginning of the year with good follow through. But the important point here is you don't want to cut your profits too early here. You want to really allow these trades to run their cycle, and certainly this year has played out very nicely. Again, over January and February, we have had some really good follow through, taking advantage of this typical move that we get in the markets, and we've also been able to capitalize on that just via trading stop losses and being able to manage that trade on a weekly basis in order just to capitalize from the large move that we've seen, with gold moving over 16% so far in 2016. Okay, so I just wanted to bring that to your attention. The other trade, in terms of the top trades that we personally had, they include oil, so WTI crude oil, Brent crude oil. Now this alert actually came to us on the 11th of November. So we actually got into this. We had the signal for a sell short here on Brent crude oil going back the previous month, so all the way back to the 11th of November. So this was about 3 weeks before we had the OPEC meeting, and we had a very key sell signal to get in at 46.15. So this was a longer term trade which we got into again, and from the breaking of this key level of support, 46.15, you can see ultimately we've broken down significantly. Again, another trade that we've managed on the longer term from the 20th, coming out of that trade on the 20th of January, where we've delivered over 1,900 points, where we've broken down to a very key level of support. So that really followed through in a big way for us on Brent crude oil as well. For those of you who've been following us for a while, you probably would have seen when we've entered into this trade, just going back to the beginning of November, and where we've really continued to follow through. We've been selling into additional rallies here, but this has been our core position that we stayed into right up until the 20th of January. Now I want to take you back again just to the seasonal chart here to make it very clear to you how we actually anticipated a rally here to the upside and knew really when to get out of this trade. So again, if you go back and look at the seasonal charts here, you'll see that typically over the course of the year, January and February, particularly January, going to the end of January, is a point where you see oil tend to bottom out and have a decent rally. Again, if you go back to previous years, you look over the last couple of weeks of January, this bottoming that you often get in the oil market, it really represents a good opportunity if you've been in a longer term sell short to actually bank profits at those levels and then look for a short-term buying opportunity. So we've come out of that trade on the 20th of January for a sell short on crude oil, and subsequently we've also taken advantage of a breakout trade to the upside. So again, just on the subject of some of our top trades that we've had over the last month, oil has also been fantastic. We've been selling oil short going back to November and also the OPEC meetings in December, but we've also gone long on oil once we've seen an opportunity to take our profits. We had a signal to bank our profits and then reverse position. You can see here very clearly we had a buy alert going back to the 21st of January, and from that point onwards we've entered into the trade and we've had a huge rally to the upside, entering at $28.81 per barrel, and we've had a huge breakout to the upside. That was in fact over a 750 point move that we profited from in 7 days. So that was the other top trade that we've really had over the last month, was both selling oil as it continued to break down and came all the way down to $27 per barrel, which was our profit target, and then we reversed position once we had a very clear signal to get out of our sell short and take advantage of a breakout to the upside. Okay, fantastic. So that is just really a quick summary of some of the trading opportunities that we've had over the last month or two. Now, I just want to put that in context to you, what that equates to in terms of your portfolio. I will just bring this up for you and just show you, again, just going back to the gold trade that we profited from here. You can see our entry on this trade. So currently where it was sat just a little bit earlier on today, we're currently trading at 1,250 US dollars per ounce. But essentially this is representing a 6-to-1. Okay, so this gold trade that we've taken, that we continue to be in at the moment, we're just managing that trade right now, we're just shy of a 6-to-1 on that trade. So if I just take, for example, a very conservative percentage, so you might be in a trade, for example, like that at a 2% risk on the trade. If you've made over a 6% gain in 5 weeks, you've essentially made 12% on one single trade. Okay, so just to put that in the context of what your actual return would be on a trade like that. So you get in a gold trade at the beginning of January, you follow that through for a 6-to-1 in this instance is what we've actually got so far on the gold trade, and we continue to stay and manage this trade at the moment. But currently that is sitting at circa a 12% gain for our 2% risk. Okay, so I want to just drill this in with you because I get a lot of questions on this, and it's very important when it just comes to your longer term trading and really understanding the new way to trade the markets now. You really want to be able to take advantage of these opportunities in the markets, longer term trades, compounding your account, capital protection, and also being able to exponentially grow your account. So I'm just going to show you and talk you through how you really want to build a nest egg and how that's done in the markets, okay, and how you can grow a small investment into really over $1 million over 10 years. So I'll go through the examples here just to really show you the power of compound interest. Now, what I talked about there was a 12% gain, okay, that we've had on gold. But if I go in very conservative here, and even if you're making a 4% return every single month on your portfolio, if you start off with a £10,000 or dollar account, even with a 4% gain every month, which is very, very achievable, by the way, on your trading account, you can see after year one, you're up to 16,000, okay? So after year one of just keeping the same funds in the account, not adding any additional funds into that account, but continue to compound that account, you can grow a 10,000 account to over 16,000 over 1 year, okay? So that's year one. Now, where it really starts to get interesting is as you get into year 2 and year 3, okay? So again, from initial starting capital there of £10,000 with a monthly growth rate of 4%, you can see there that by the time you get to year 3, you've quadrupled your funds there. So you've gone from 10,000 to 41,000, and that is at a very conservative growth rate every month. Okay, that's a 4% growth rate. Now, if we just go a little bit higher on that, over a 5-year period, you would be essentially going 10 times. Your account would have gone 10 times higher in terms of the return and compounding. You would have gone from a 10,000 account to over 100,000 over a 5-year period, again with that 4% growth rate every single month. So you can see really the power of the longer term style of trading where you are generating returns. I mean, 4% is a very conservative growth rate. We're always going for much higher than that. We've done much higher than that over the month of January and February so far as well. On gold alone, we've so far done 12% on that single trade. But just to really give you an example of how compound interest works in the trading account, you might have seen that before, but just to really remind you, if you like, of how compounding works within a trading account, and ultimately over a longer period of time, you can see it really starts to exponentially increase your account size once you get into year 7, year 8, year 9, year 10. This is where you really start to grow those gains exponentially. So you can see where a starting capital of 10,000 has the potential to grow to over $1 million if you're consistent with your trading. If you are not taking out, you don't need to be taking out, withdrawing funds from that. If you just reinvest the profits into that account, how fast that account can grow over a longer period of time through longer term trades. Okay, so I just wanted to really have a recap of that for everybody, the magic of compound interest, before we go into our forecast and we start to have a look at the charts and really some of the developments that we're seeing in the market at the moment and how to take advantage of those in the coming weeks and in the coming months as well. So what I'll do, I'll start off with a gold chart. As always, we will keep it nice and interactive, guys. So first of all, we'll take a look at the gold market. So if we have a look at gold right now, a few points to note. We have, of course, broken through some major levels of resistance. We're currently trading at the moment at 1 year highs on gold. Okay, so gold has broken out significantly to the upside, up over 16% so far this year. We've broken out to 1 year highs, best performing commodity of 2016, and we still continue to be in this trade at the moment for a long. We've been in a buy on gold since the beginning of January. Now, if we have a look at the overall price structure right now, a few things to note. First of all, monthly chart. Have a look at where we're sat in terms of the monthly chart. Now, we can just ever so slightly adjust these trend channels. You will note where we're coming right up to the upper end of this monthly chart at the moment, which is sitting around 1250, 1,250 US dollars per ounce. So we've had a rotation going back to the beginning of December all the way back to 1,050 US dollars per ounce. We've rotated all the way from the lower end of the trend channel back up to very key resistance. So at this stage, where gold is sat, it is getting into a very key resistance zone. It's getting into overbought territory at the moment, but you can see this just represents at the bottom here how overextended gold is right now, and it is certainly getting towards the upper end of that overbought condition. So we're definitely quite overbought at the moment. The big question is whether gold will just consolidate at these levels, so whether it will just hold on to these gains, consolidate and potentially move much higher at these levels, or whether it will get a larger rotation back towards the lower end of its trend channels here, which you can see on the much larger time frames. Now, ultimately, at the moment, in the short term, any pullbacks which are coming back towards the lower end of this trend channel, if we just go into the tighter time frames, if we have pullbacks back towards the lower end of this trend channel, which you can see there's been quite a sharp channel, we are looking at pullbacks as buy opportunities at the moment on gold. We've had significant breakouts to the upside over the last 24 hours, and we'd be looking for any major pullbacks here as buying opportunities at the moment. Now, where gold sat today, it's quite overextended. It's already moved. It's moved 4 times more than its usual day-to-day volatility. Okay, so you've moved over 700 points from its low to its high over the course of today on gold. So it's definitely been a significant breakout. So right now, what I'm looking at on gold is to see ultimately as well by the end of the week whether we actually break and whether we close above these key levels of resistance. Like if we do close above all this key resistance just to the left, you've also got the 1230 up to the 1240 zone. That really bodes well for gold to continue to build a base here as we head into next week. It's been a significant breakout to the upside. Now I'll just move it over. We'll have a look at silver as well. Silver also had a significant breakout over the last week. That was actually used yesterday to pivot from, you had a nice rejection candle form at the 200 MA and good follow through today, pretty good spike to the upside. Again, just looking at the weekly chart here, you can see where silver has actually broken out from a major trend channel on the weekly, but on the monthly chart, we're sitting right at a very key resistance zone. So this is going all the way out on the monthly chart back to 2003. You can see where we bounced off this level in 2008 and again here in 2016. So we've come all the way back up to the upper end of this trend channel. So right now this is an event area for silver as we head into the end of the week, and if we do into March as well, if we get a break above this zone, if we close and break above this major resistance channel, which ultimately silver has been in for over 2 years here, we could really start to build up some big momentum to the upside, particularly if we close near the monthly highs here later on in the month. It is also at a point where it could rotate back down again. So it's become very overextended. It does have the potential also to rotate back down within its trend channel. But at the moment, we are treating any pullbacks as buying opportunities here for the precious metals. So any pullbacks right now, we are looking for those as buying opportunities. Okay, so let me just take you back to the gold market as well. So I did mention before a few questions on that, just on the overall longer term positions that we've got here on gold as well. So let me just go back to that and I'll show you. So yeah, essentially the trade that we've been in here, the trade management that all of our traders have been alerted to, at the Gold and Silver Club throughout every single stage of that setup, as we've been entered into the trade, as we've continued to ride that trade, the trade management around that trade. Essentially, just to answer that question, yes, you can get access to all of our live trade setups at the Gold and Silver Club. Very simply, all you want to do is go over to www.theprivatetradersclub.com. So once you are there, so again, that's just www.theprivatetradersclub.com. Once you are there, you will have the following page in front of you, and you want to note several key areas and aspects to the way that we trade at the Gold and Silver Club. So number one is that you get alerted to trade setup. So as soon as there is a new trade setup, you get a notification, you get an email notification that there is a new trade setup. You also get the specific entry, exit, take profit levels, as well as trade management, and alerted to when that trade has been triggered. So that is all real time and really enables you to make sure that you don't miss out on any opportunities in the market, and you're able to capitalize the most out of your trades. You don't close out too early. You allow the trade to run for its maximum potential as well. Now, you also get access to the Master Markets Trading course. At the Gold and Silver Club, we've created a very comprehensive commodities course, which includes everything from risk management to the strategies that we use, the indicators that we use at the Gold and Silver Club, to the analysis that we use at the Gold and Silver Club, to really take your trading to a much deeper level and take you from an absolute beginner to a very consistent trader. So you've really got everything that you need to become a profitable trader, and that's fantastic because you can go through the course module by module, step by step. You can go through each of those in chronological order. You also get access to our live trading rooms throughout the week, so you get access to those. Those are also recorded, so you can rewatch the recording of the live trading rooms as well. That is all made available to you, and you also get access to our VIP email support. So whether you've got questions on the trading course, the technical setups, any market related queries, just get in touch with us and we'll answer those for you ASAP. So essentially, to enroll for the Private Traders Club, all you need to do is, once you are on that link, www.theprivatetradersclub.com, you need to go down to the bottom, just click on Ready to Get Started, Enroll Here Now. Once you've clicked on that link, you will have an application form. You want to make sure you fill out every part of that form, which includes your first name, last name, of course, email, phone number, details, and just make sure once you've filled all that out, you click Apply Now. And once you've got your application, a member of our team will be in touch with you guys ASAP. Okay, so again, just www.theprivatetradersclub.com. Okay, fantastic. Right, okay, good. So essentially that is how you would get access to setups such as these, where we've enabled our traders to take advantage of this entire breakout over the last 5 to 6 weeks here on gold, which has just been phenomenal. So if you would like to take your trading to the next level, all you need to do is just go to www.theprivatetradersclub.com. Membership is by application only. You just want to complete the enrollment form and we will get in touch with you ASAP, okay? And thoroughly look forward to working with those of you who will be joining us at the Gold and Silver Club.